You said drugs should not be used to kill pain. What about the last stages of cancer and so forth, when the pain is beyond endurance?
My father was brought up in the old school. He believed in drugs. And when I began to break away from my faith in drugs and began to adopt what we now know as hygiene, he was very bitterly opposed to it. When I came to Chicago to go to school, he went with me to the railway station, and every step of the way from home to the railway station, he did his best to persuade me not to come here and waste my money studying something that wouldn't be of any value. He wanted me to study medicine, study law, study for the ministry, study business administration, study anything except that. You're just wasting your time and your money. During one summer, I got a place with a sanitarium in Elmhurst out here, beyond the city a short distance. We had some asthma cases out there, and my father had asthma. And I wrote him and told him what we did for the cases and how they got along. And he didn't even bother to reply to my letter. Time came, however, when he was at my place and observed for a short time what we were doing and the results we were getting. And then one day I stopped in my home on my way back to my place from New York, and I found my father in bed. And he said, "Can you do anything for me?" And I said, "If you'll follow instructions." He says, "I'll do anything you say. I'm dying. I know it. My physicians know it. They tell me that I've got 6 months to live, that there's nothing more they can do." He had cancer. I took him in my car and took him down to my place, and instead of dying in 6 months, he lived 8 years. He lived 8 years in comfort. He lived 8 years, he enjoyed life. He lived 8 years without pain. He died without suffering. He died of cancer. I never saw a case of cancer get well, no matter how you care for them. But I've seen a lot of cases of cancer have their life prolonged, and I've seen them live in comfort and in usefulness and carry on their work. My father carried on his work as a building contractor up to within 46 hours of his death. He was still planning his activities for the next day when he collapsed one evening. But he died free of pain. I have taken patients that were taking dope several times a day and night, and within 24 hours had them free of pain. I'm speaking of cancer patients. And I've carried them along for long periods of time without pain. They die of cancer. They don't get well. But they don't have to be dope. You don't have to make dope addicts out of cancer patients in order for them to endure their last days on earth.